so fast. Okay? Things which were luxury yesterday are becoming important today. So, in the next 5 days, what I am intending to talk about is that how can you take care of your finances? We are talking about introduction to money and finance. Okay. And financial information quiz, concept of net worth we'll be talking about asset and liabilities. Now, when you listen to the word asset, don't think that I'm talking about commerce. In our life, we have assets, we have liabilities. We'll be talking about the net worth, case study, get set go, smart goal, and goal setting. This is what we look to talk about. And I intend to keep this session interactive, so be feel free to write questions, answer, responses to what I am saying. That will be appreciated. But before we start, I was telling you that this session is not something which I am going to tell you all the things that will be new. Some things that you will be knowing. To set the tone, what we are going to talk about, let us talk about certain questions that I would like to you to answer. See, read the following statements that are coming and try to tell me whether they are true or false. Anyone who spends a lot of money is a wealthy man. What do we say? It's a true or false? False. Okay. So anybody who can spend a lot of money, buy a lot of things, might not be rich man. One I got true. Kriti is saying it's true. Aparna is saying it's false. Manju is saying it's false. No. Okay. Anybody who can spend a lot of money is a wealthy man? No. Okay. Yes. Everybody who says false is correct. Anybody who can spend a lot of money does not mean he own the money. So basically, one who has more money, maybe a more richer money. Okay. So just because a person is spending more money, he is driving fancy cars or he is living in a very big place, does not mean he is a rich man. Okay, he's a wealthy man. What constitutes wealth? We are going to talk about. So I'm very happy that most of you, I would get 99% of you got the answer correct. Chaliye, let's look at the second question. People who regularly spend less than what they earn are more likely to become wealthy than who regularly spend more than what they earn. This is true or false? True, 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 true. I'm not able to take every name, but yes, I can see that I'm getting true. True, true. Yes, this is true. Like Nirali said, Kush said, Arul said, Anaya said. Okay. So this is true. People who spend less than what you earn, this is the key. Yeah, savings are important. Exactly, Saya. This is the key to wealth creation. What we are going to talk about is today our purpose is to earn who is actually wealthy. Okay. What should we look at when we are looking at being wealthy? Yes, this is true. Correct. So see, you people all know this. I am not asking very. Young people do not have to worry about money. When I'm talking about young people, I'm talking about students. Students do not have to worry about money. False, false. Prabhakar is saying true. Ariman is saying false. Bharat is saying false. Adya is saying true. False. Navya is saying false. True. False. Your parents worry about it. Exactly, I was taking the answer as getting. Okay. You do not need to worry about money per se. I'm not saying that you should earn money, but that is a big concept in our country, especially in our country, that children don't have to worry about money. It's the parents' job. Okay. This is a concept in our country that children do not have to worry about the money. Worrying about the money is parents' job, and children just have to concentrate on studying. I am sure many of you would have understood, would listen to this at your homes. So basically, no, in any case, you need to worry about money. Don't actually worry, but you should understand the value of money. Because as I told you, whether you are young or you are old, money is a scarce resource. And if you do, the moment, the earlier you start talking about it, the earlier you start learning about it, even worrying about it, I'm not saying that you should not spend it. You can spend it. But you should know that what are the implications of my decision to spend or not spend. So we will be focusing on session on this, that how do we make those decisions? What are the basis on which we can say that this is a good spend, this is a bad spend, I should spend money on this, I should borrow, I should not borrow. These are the kind of things I'm going to talk about, because this is what financial life entails when we grow up. Yes, young people need to worry about money. So if you are not worrying about money, people who are saying true, don't worry per se, don't worry about earning it. Okay? But think about how much money is being spent. Yes, Priyank, exactly. That the earlier you start, and especially, yes, it is better if you are able to answer the question in Q&A window, because I have to see if everybody can answer the question in Q&A window, that will be better. Yeah, Vidhi. So we will be talking about over our sessions. Today we are session on net worth. Our next session would be on budgeting. Exactly. Now question, you cannot spend money when your bank account is empty. Is it true? This thing. Can we spend money? Ashish saying true. Pranjal is saying false. False. Ashish saying true. False. People are saying false also. Mostly some people are saying true, some people are saying false. So people who are saying false, how can we spend money when we do not have any money in the bank account? People are saying false. How can we spend money when we do not have any money in the bank account? Yes, you can take loans, you can borrow, exactly. You can, yeah, can ask. Credit card is a big trouble nowadays. So trouble is also, and it's a good thing also. I'm not saying credit card is also a bad thing. Credit facilities, exactly, exactly. So basically, we do not need money in our bank account to borrow. Or we can borrow and we can spend. We can borrow from loans. We can borrow from our friends. We can borrow from our parents. We can borrow from credit card. Okay. Yes, you can take loan. You can have credit card. You can have credit facilities. Buy now, pay later. You can make EMIs on your debit cards. Nowadays, a lot of things are happening. Okay. To spend money, actually, you don't have to step out of your own. Right now, in most of the places, we have people from all across the country, and I hope you people are keeping safe, because we are going amidst the worst crisis of the century. But right now, if you want to spend money, can you spend money sitting at your home? If you have a credit card, you don't need bank account. So not necessarily you need money in the bank account. But here I'm saying that most of the fundamental skills, one must be 18 years or old in order to open a bank account. Now, this is true or not? One must be 18 years old. True. Khush is saying false. Aparajita is saying false. Aryaman is saying false. Adya is saying false. Q&A में देखते हैं. Some people are again, some true, some false. This question is generating a mixed response. True, false, true, false, true, false. Sister saying false. Yes, the answer to this question is false. Okay. Minors can open bank account along with some guardian, but minors can open bank account. So you do not need to be 18 years. Some bank give facilities to minors also to open bank account. तो 18 साल के होने का इंतजार नहीं करना आपको. अभी वैक्सीन नहीं लग सकते. You cannot have vaccine, but you can have a bank account. And don't worry, all the people who have crossed 18 years, they have been allowed from tomorrow. Is it possible for us to have a share in the profits of many big companies in India? If you are sitting at home, you are not your own company, but can you get a share of the profits? True, false. Divya saying yes. Diya is saying true. Shruti is saying true. I'm trying to take as much name as I can take. So don't mind. Getting some true, some false. How can we get the profit from big companies? Through stocks, buy stocks. Yeah, stock market, share market. No, it's quite possible. It's not maybe, it's quite possible that when you buy a stock of a company, you become the shareholder in that company, and that means you become the owner of that company. Okay? Because the stock markets exist, because retail investor are going to talk about this. Yes, dividend, exactly. The part of the profit is known as dividend. One cannot open a bank account if it does not have a ration card. Is this true or false? For bank account, ration card is not the only thing, no? This is a simple question. Yeah, this is false. You can have your Aadhaar card, KYC needs to be fulfilled. Know your customer, know your client formalities. So there are other documents in addition to the ration card. One can keep his saving in post office. True? What kind of accounts can be there in the post office? Do we know? Yes, this is true. One can keep his savings. Saving account is there. Yes, Hemangi. Saving accounts are there. Deposits are also there. Term deposits, recurring deposits. Yes, true. It's true. Post office also has banking facilities. A person below 18 years of age can apply for a loan from bank. Yes, Preeti, you're right. Post office mein we can get savings account mein we can get interest, and the interest rate is better than most of the banks right now. 4% interest you can get. In the most of the banks, 2.5%. Can we get loan below 18 years of age? No, you cannot. Okay, it's false. Unless you are a major, you cannot get a loan. You cannot even apply for a loan. You can have a bank account, but you cannot get a loan before 18 years. So those of you who are not 18 years, don't try to get a loan. Yes, exactly, Kashish. That's minors are not bank loan and bank deposits are contracts. Okay. Educational loan below 18 years will have to be taken by parents, Harshita. Above 18 years for higher education, you can take your loan on your name. Okay. J, when you save money, it grows. True? False? When you save money, it grows or not? Not necessarily. When you save money, where do you save money? Yeah, Dravya, the answer is correct. Vandana, yes. Not just by saving, you'll have to invest that saved money. That's why if you keep it in savings account in banks, what is the interest that saving accounts are giving? Any idea on interest rate that saving accounts give you on your own money deposits? What percent? Yes, Bhagya, 3.5%, 4 to 5%, 4 to 5%, very rarely. It is below 4%, 3%. State Bank of India is giving 2.75%. Now, what is your inflation rate in India, in our country? What is the inflation rate? Inflation would be around 4%, 5%. Yeah. So your bank account is not giving you. So you just save money, it will not grow. For growing money, you will have to invest it. Okay. Now the very important question is where to invest. So one of our session would be investing. We will be talking about investing. J is false. When you save money, it does not grow. When you, after saving the money, If you invest the money, then it grows. Okay. So all our financial literacy, financial planning that we are going to talk about in the next 4 or 5 days will be this. I thought we were talking about when we are talking about these things. So these are the kind of things that we are going to talk about in the next 4 to 5 days. We will be talking about budgeting. We will be talking about investments. We will be talking about banking, and we will be talking about borrowing. Yes, you can invest in a lot of things. So one session we have fully dedicated to investment. Because what happens is, whenever you are doing anything, like you are doing this session, we are conducting this question. Whenever I start anything new, I always ask 4 questions. The 4 interrogative words in English language. What are those words? Why, when, where, and how. Why I am doing it? Why are we talking about money today? So we will be talking about Erin, you okay. Let me try it. Mic मैंने छोड़ दिया था अभी it is better. Has my voice improved for the people who are saying? Okay. So I'll keep my mic close to my mouth. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this. So these are the kind of things. Now we come to another very interesting thing. I don't know how many of you, I am going to show you very famous picture. Any of you recognizes this? This is the house of a very famous guy. That guy is nobody. That guy is not alive right now, but when he used to be alive, he used to be a very famous guy. Anybody recognizes this house? But no doubt, no, that the owner of this house must be a rich man. Okay. Now see this another house. This is a normal, this is a palace kind of thing, and this is a normal house. Now, which one, the owner of which house is richer? Second wala. Yeah, the second is the house of Warren Buffett. First is the house of this guy. You know this guy? He's the greatest musician, pop star, rock star that has ever been produced in the world. Okay. Michael Jackson, I'm sure you would be knowing this guy. He passed away in 2009. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was the most famous musician or pop star, rock star of our times of the century, I will say. But when this guy passed away in 2009, his house is far better than Warren Buffett's house, and Warren Buffett looks like everybody knows Warren Buffett. Huh? Michael Jackson was a pop star, the biggest pop star of the century in America. And Warren Buffett, who is Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett, everybody knows. Huh? He's become very famous. He is the greatest investor the world has seen. He's always first, second or third richest person in the world. Okay. Yeah, he is the greatest investor the world has seen. Billionaire. Right? But he lives in this house, and Michael Jackson, when he died, he was in 400 million debt, on the verge of bankruptcy. But later when he died, his estate and his post-mortem record selling covered the thing. What are you saying, Dravya? I did not get your question. It went away too early. So basically, yeah, if you look just by the looks of it, the first house, Neverland, it was called Neverland. You people must be too young at that point in time, but yeah. So the concept of rich does not mean a person who can spend a lot of money is not rich. Not necessarily rich. I'm not saying it's not rich. A person who lives by humble means may not be poor. Okay? So the things that define rich or poor are a little different. And today we are going to talk about the concept of net worth. Net worth is the thing that decides whether a person is rich or poor. Okay. Now this house has been sold. First house has been auctioned, and Warren Buffett, though, Michael Jackson has passed away, but Warren Buffett is still alive and kicking. So this is a particular video. Let me, we are not running it here, but let me share it in chat. You can look at this video. I'm sharing the link in the chat if that is coming. Otherwise, it will come. This is a video, and there's a very famous book for you people. If you want to read it, you can read this book. You can call that book. The book is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now this link is not getting copied here, but I'll ensure that this is sent to you. I'll send it to these guys. That's great, Prithvi. If you've done that, that's a book worth reading. Okay. Now we come to net worth. Now anybody, net worth means the income after paying all the taxes. Any more guesses on what we are talking about? When we are talking about net worth of a person. Okay. You must be hearing this term a lot. Net worth is a very, very commonly used term nowadays. People saying Mukesh Ambani's net worth is highest in India. Shah Rukh Khan has the highest net worth in Bollywood industry. But what the hell is net worth? Why it is being used to measure the wealth of a person? Income after paying all taxes, disposable income, total assets all owned by a person. Nishchay is saying, yeah, close. Exactly, Kashish. Net worth means total asset minus total liabilities. What you own minus what you owe. Okay. So basically, when I'm talking about net worth is this. Net worth is asset minus liabilities. Okay. And that's why we are saying that the person who can spend money might not be the richest, because he might be spending money after creating liabilities. Okay. He might be spending money after creating the liabilities. So asset is what you own, that is your ownership, and liability is what you owe. And your decision of buying the assets, your decision of investing in assets will impact your net worth, your wealth position. So it does not have to do anything with your income. Obviously, your income will help you create the assets. But at any point in time, like balance sheet, when we are in balance sheet of a company, we see the financial position of a company at a particular point in time. And when we are looking about net worth is calculated as on date. Okay. When you will grow up, when you will start working, let's say you start in a job. Okay. When you start in a job, our net worth would be negative, because if you are going to buy a bike or a car, or if you are renting a place, your expenses will be more, your income will be lesser. Okay, your assets, if you are buying a bike on loan, you will start with more liabilities in your life. Okay, but as we move along journey of our life, what happens is our assets keep on increasing and liabilities keep on decreasing, or rather I would say they should keep on decreasing. If they do not decrease, if our assets over the journey of life, our assets should increase and our liabilities should decrease, no? And overall, during the working life, during my career, I should be working on increasing my assets and reducing my liabilities, thereby increasing my net worth. That is a very, very important part. The net worth continuously has to improve. So when we are talking about, I am talking about assets. Assets are house, okay, bank balance, gold. Okay? And liability, when we are talking about, I'm talking about any kind of outstanding loan, credit card bill. Okay. So let's take an example. If you acquire any asset, okay, there are certain rules that you must keep in mind when we are talking about net worth. Assets if we are talking about assets are also two kinds. Listen to this carefully. This is an important part. Assets are of two kinds. One is use assets, or we call them lifestyle assets. And the second are capital assets. Okay. Capital assets increase in value, lifestyle asset decrease in value. Let's take the most popular lifestyle asset, car. Okay. If you purchase a car today worth 10 lakh rupees, the moment the car is registered in your name, its value decreases. Assets might create liability for you. No? When you buy a car, let's say you buy a car worth 10 lakh rupees, taking a loan of 9 lakh rupees. Okay, what I'm talking about this. See this. If you look at your personal balance sheet, car asset के side पे I am getting 10 lakh rupees, liability की side पे I am getting 9 lakh rupees. The moment car is registered on my name and come, its market value decreases to, let's say, 8 lakh rupees. And the loan is still 8.5 lakh rupees. After 1 year, the car is 7 lakh rupees and loan value is still 8.8 lakh rupees. So what will happen is, essentially, the asset has come down by 7 lakhs and liability has come down only by 1 lakh. So the overall impact on your net worth would be negative. Okay. Let's say I am talking about an iPhone. I buy a new latest iPhone 12. 12 is the latest, no? iPhone 12 Max Pro. How much it costs? Must be in excess of a lakh and 1,10,000. 1,20,000 exactly. Now, if you buy this phone and you use it for 1 year, and then you go to the market to sell this phone, now in how much will you be able to sell it after 1 year? Tell me. Will you be able to sell it in more than 50K? 1.2 lakh is the cost. But after 1 year, yeah, maximum 50,000, 14,000. I don't know. I'm simply asking about the market price. I'll say 50, 60,000 would be the maximum. 45, 50, 60. My guess is 50, 60,000. Okay. Whatever. May it be 80,000. 1 lakh, nobody is going to buy a second phone in 1 lakh, I guess. But 50, 60,000 is yes. Okay. So that iPhone has eaten away 60,000 rupees of net worth in 1 year. 1,20,000 may you bought it and 60,000 may you are selling it. 60,000 of your net worth your iPhone is eaten. Okay. So there are certain assets that reduce your net worth and there are certain assets that increase your net worth. What we should be careful of? We should be careful of. Now let's talk about another thing. iPhone and car I talked about. These are lifestyle assets. Now let's talk about buying a house. Discount this corona situation. The property rates are not going high. Let's say if you buy a house in Mumbai it's a, let's say, 70 lakh rupees ka house. You have bought a house in Mumbai. Okay. And you took a loan for that. Loan amount was 50 lakhs. What is happening? I don't know. Just a second. I am talking about that a situation that you are buying a house in Mumbai and Mumbai mein 70 lakh mein it is difficult to find a house nowadays, but yes, 70 lakhs mein you bought a house and you took a loan of 50 lakhs. Okay. Then what happens? Your asset will increase by 70 and your liability will increase by 50 and most probably, yeah, property is a capital asset, Suhani. That's what I'm talking about. That after 1 year, the 70 lakh house will become 75 lakh and 50 lakh loan will reduce to 47 lakhs. So even if you borrow, you create asset and liability, but over a period of time, your house value will increase and your loan value will decrease. So overall impact on the net worth will be positive. Asset will increase, liability will decrease. So your net worth pay impact would be positive. So house is a property, house is a capital asset that is going to increase your net worth, while your AC, your car, your television, your mobile phone, these are assets which are going to decrease the net worth. Having said that, yeah, personal satisfaction or hubris, yeah, we'll say to show off, we take things. Loan value will decrease, Harsh, because we will pay off the loan, no? We'll keep on paying the loan for 1 year. Social status or glory. Okay. Why would anybody buy a very precious diamond or something like that? It is more of a social status. There's a word called hubris. I don't know whether you know the money. It's called being proud of or something like that. Okay. So I'm not saying that. Having said all this, having denounced your iPhone or car, I'm not at any point in time saying that we should not buy those things. Okay. Yeah, Priti. But sometimes what happens is, I'm not saying that you should not buy a car. I'm not saying that you should not buy an iPhone. I'm not saying that you should not buy luxury things you really like. Okay. I am just saying that when I am purchasing certain things like that, which is going to reduce my net worth, I should be aware of that decision. I should not be caught unawares. I should be aware of this decision, and I should invest in the capital assets to increase my net worth. Because what is the purpose of our economic life? Whether you are a commerce student, science student, any student, what is the purpose of our economic life is to continuously, because if we want to secure our future, okay, if we want to secure our future, we all want to earn money. Now we earn money so that we can have a good lifestyle, okay, and we have to secure our future. But earning money will depend on, earning is not only the thing, earning money and creating assets. That is the thing. Michael Jackson earned a lot of money, billions of dollars, but he spent it all. You will find a lot of celebrities who go bankrupt. It's not that they don't earn money, but earning has to be converted into assets. That is a very, very important part. The goal of life is to increase the net worth. Now, you all are students. I generally, sometimes when I take session with working professionals, financial awareness sessions, I ask them a very simple question. I don't know, Raghav, will they be able to see the recording? I don't know. You'll have to, I think you should be able to see. Yes, Archita, investment in shares, house, mutual funds, post office deposits, everything is a capital asset. Anything which has the potential of increasing in value is, yes, Lavanya, I'm on 10th slide, is capital asset. Yes, cryptocurrency is also capital asset. But cryptocurrency is one thing which not many people understand. Okay. So you can invest in property. About CRED and even Byju's, and these companies are funded by investors. Okay, you're asking question about CRED. That's wonderful. These companies are funded by investors. They have been sponsored by. So these are startups. Okay, and most of the startup, when you will find most of the startups are in losses. Even big startup like Paytm and all would also be in losses. Cryptocurrency might be a bubble, Kashish. We cannot say anything about cryptocurrency. Yeah, Zomato, if you see, Zomato has been quite successful now. Zomato is coming up with an IPO. Okay. They are offering their shares to public. So basically, what can we say about net worth? That a person who can spend money is not rich. A person who has a lot of bank balance might not be the rich person, because if he has liabilities also. So who is a rich person? The definition of rich is whose balance of asset minus liabilities is high. Banning is not a solution, but again, government will also have to. Arjun is asking a question about ban on cryptocurrency. So banning is not a final solution, but yes, cryptocurrency is a volatile and speculative thing. It's a risky thing. Nearly private companies issue shares, but to limited people. Okay, they have shares, but shares are issued only to limited people. Public, they cannot offer the shares to public. To offer the shares to public, they have to take the. Yes, Arjun. That's because it is risky. We need an elaborate set of regulations, but for that, RBI has to do. No, debentures are different. Debentures are bonds. Okay, debentures are different. But private companies have shares, but all their shares are held by some limited individuals, limited number of individuals. Chale, coming back to the concept of net worth. So, the first step in assessing your current net worth. I've come back to slide number 9. Don't get confused. I showed you slide 10 first, then I've come to slide number 9. The first step in assessing your current wealth is determining your net worth. Okay. It is the starting part of financial planning. We will be talking about financial planning because financial planning is a very important aspect of your life. Okay. I am talking about net worth. What I am talking about essentially, if I am talking about increasing net worth, what I am talking about wealth creation. Okay. And why I'm talking to you people about wealth creation? Because you have not yet embarked on your professional career. When I started career, I was not very sanitized about the wealth. Okay, it was earning was good money. I was happy spending it. But you people, when you will be starting earning, you must be understanding the value of the money and how can you, since the start of your career, you can start planning for further goals. Okay. The first step in assessing your current wealth is determining your net worth. That is asset minus liability. What you own minus what you owe to somebody. Okay. It provides an indication of your capacity to achieve your financial goals. Now, this is a very important word. What are financial goals? Anybody? I'm talking about financial goals. What could be financial goals? Financial goals includes all the important milestones in anybody's life. Financial goal means goal specific thing. If I am investing in in the market, why am I investing? Okay. Chale, let's talk about goals. We'll come to goals, but I'll say, what is your goal in life? I want to become big person. But what is the difference? A doctor? Exactly. This is being more specific. Okay. So similarly, in whatever profession I am, depending on my age and my stage in life cycle, exactly, Kush. Kush is clear. Now the question is, how do you convert these goals to smart goals? We'll be talking about smart goals. But when I'm talking about financial goals, what are financial goals? I'll come to that. But financial goals are the important landmarks of life. If you are in, right now, I am, let's say, 40 years old, 42 years old. I have 2 kids and all. What my financial goals would be, I would want them to study properly. When they grow up, I would want them to get married properly. When I retire, I want, because I am not getting pension from government or any other institution. So I want to save money for retirement. If I have some illness, I want to be able to provide for my illness also. These are financial goals. I want to go to Las Vegas. I want to go to Antarctica for vacation also. That could be a financial goal. So financial goal is what person intends to do. Okay. And every goal in life is a financial goal. If you want to study, become an investment banker, for becoming an investment banker, you will have to go to an IIM or a foreign-based school. Now, if you want to go to IIM, whether you have to clear CAT examination, that is one thing. But if you clear CAT examination, what will be the fees of the IIM at that point in time? You will have to provide for it, and that is the substantial amount. Okay. What is the fees of an IIM today? Anybody knows IIT fees, IIM fees? They are substantial amount, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, this kind of amounts. Yes, around 25 to 30 lakhs. So basically, when we are talking about, it provides an indication of your capacity to achieve your financial goal. Your net worth is the difference between the totals of your asset minus liabilities. In corporate balance sheet, assets are equal to liabilities, but in your personal balance sheet, assets are not equal to liabilities. Your assets, yeah, Arman, correct? In your personal life's balance sheet, your asset must always be bigger than your liabilities. You should have more assets than your liabilities. So how do you calculate your net worth? List all values items. You or people must also be having some net worth. Try to find out. You will see we are not earning, we don't own any asset, but you must be owning some assets. Okay. List all the items of value starting with cash, investment assets, current value of your house, your possessions, your car, anything else. And then list all the liabilities and subtract total liabilities from total assets. We will come to net worth. And this is an exercise every earning individual should do. Every year on a particular day, let's say on 31st of March, on 1st of April, I should estimate my total asset minus total liabilities. I should estimate my net worth. That will give me an idea, no, that whether my net worth is increasing or decreasing. If my net worth is decreasing, then there must be a problem. No, my financial management is not proper. If there has been certain decision that which has decreased my net worth, my liabilities have increased, my assets have decreased, then I might take a corrective action in the following year, no? So that's why you should always keep an eye on the net worth, because over the working life of an individual, what we are aiming at continuously increasing our net worth, so that when we reach at the end, and what is the end? What is the aim of your working? I told you what is your goal. Okay, you said somebody wants to be an investment banker, somebody wants to be a doctor. That's okay. But after that, what will be your goal? I am asking you too much to think. You people don't have to think. But if I ask me, what is my goal? Okay. I have been working for last 18 years, 19 years. Now, what is my goal? I'll just someday I'll have to stop working. And what will that depend on? If someday I will have to stop working, what will that depend on? Two things. My saving, exactly, Kushi and Adya. That that my confidence that I will be able to survive after retirement. My money will not dry out. Okay. And that will happen when I won't have to work for my money anymore. If I don't have to work for my survival anymore, we call that state as financial freedom. So I want to attain financial freedom. Every working individual that starts working wants to attain a state of financial freedom. A financial freedom is such a state when you are not dependent on your monthly income for surviving. Exactly, Dravya. We will have to make money work for us. That is our thing. So the whole purpose of life is to end working. Okay? After, if I am 43 today, if I attain my financial freedom in next 5 years, I can stop working. And then after that, I'll work whatever I want to. Okay? In other words, we call it retirement. So basically, if you are aware of your finances from right now onwards, I'm sure by the time you will come to my age, you will be in such a position that you can stop working. Stop working. I'm not saying stop working. People talk about early retirement. Now, early retirement is a faulty concept. Why do anybody want to retire early? Why would anybody want to retire early? If I retire at 45 years of age, what will I do after? Because I'm going to live, if I'm safe from this current pandemic, then I am expecting to live a very long life. And what will I do? So I'm not, don't retire, plan to retire early. What you should plan to attain a state of financial freedom. You don't have to retire ever until your health permits you. Work for your passion, whatever you are passionate about. And I'm sure everybody of you would be passionate about something. If you are becoming doctor, you will be passionate about serving people. If you are becoming investment banker, you might be liking something else. Or you might be waiting for doing something. So do that. Follow your passion. All that will come if by a certain age, by a certain time, you will be able to create that much wealth that will take care of you when you are no more working. Exactly. Am I making sense? Are we all getting the direction to which we are going to move? So this is what we are going to talk about. Okay. I'm a financial planner. I am generally talk to elders. Okay. I generally talk to elders. I have talked to school kids first, but now I am hoping that you people are connecting with us. Thank you, Ara. So what we are looking at is aapki life ka way, for your life also. You are young kids, but someday at 40 years, 45, 50 years of age, you will retire happily. And then after that, you will do whatever you would like, not whatever you are forced to do. This is what we are looking at. So net worth, when we are talking about net worth is a tool for comparing the changes in your financial position over a period of time. That's what I was talking to you, that calculate your net worth every year. An increase in net worth over a period of time is a favorable trend. Now you can go back to your dad and tell them, I want to calculate your net worth. And if he's forthcoming with data, you can do that. Not all dads are so forthcoming. That's my personal experience, but yes. An increase in net worth over a period of time is a favorable trend, and a decrease in net worth is reduction in wealth. That is a very important part. If your net worth is decreasing, boss, you are destroying wealth. If your liabilities are increasing, if your assets are decreasing, you are destroying wealth. Please be aware of that. Okay. And there are many ways. Okay. Right now, where will we start from? In the next session, I'll talk about more about this. But if you are talking about that, if you want to increase your net worth, you have to create assets. Now, where will you create the assets from? You will have to pay for those assets, no? So, where will you create the assets from? From your income. Whatever you are earning, that you will utilize. Exactly, Dravya. But for keeping the money, investing in stocks, your income must be more than your expenses, no? If your income is lesser than your expenses, then we cannot invest anywhere. So the first task is budgeting. That we will be talking about next class. You should have a surplus. If you don't have surplus, what will we do? And right now we have very intelligent people are sitting in the marketing department of companies like Amazon, Flipkart. They will make you spend. No, earlier when we were kids, we used to buy clothes 2 times in a year. One was Diwali and one was somebody's marriage would be there in the family. We would be giving a new set of clothes. Today, when do we buy clothes? Whenever there is a Great India Festival on Amazon, whenever there is Flipkart Big Billion Days, super facilities. So I am saying, yeah, whenever there is a sale, whenever there is a sale, whenever there is an attractive offer, or maybe there is an attractive offer on the credit card that I am holding. I am holding an Axis Bank credit card. So that is happening. So this basically all the things we are going to talk about, and this is the self-control. I don't know whether. Let me tell you another story. Yeah, a little digressing. I am from the topic. Have you anybody heard about marshmallow test? Has anybody of you heard about marshmallow test? No. Okay. Marshmallow, you all know what marshmallow is. Marshmallow is a very tasty chocolate kind of thing. Okay. So there was a study conducted in, I think it's a Yale study, Yale University, or I'll tell you, I'm just missing the name. What US mein, somewhere a study was conducted when a 5-year-old kids, okay, they were sent in a room and a 5-year-old kids were sent in a room and a marshmallow was placed. Now, the way I think my voice would have improved. I generally tend to leave the mic. Okay. Thanks a lot. So, what I was saying is that this marshmallow study is a very famous case, Stanford. Okay, Google. It was conducted in Stanford when a 5-year-old kid was sent in the room with a marshmallow. And he was told, boss, if you don't eat this marshmallow for 15 minutes, you will be given 2 marshmallows. And if you eat this 1 marshmallow, okay, you eat 1 marshmallow, you can go. And surprisingly, he should not eat it ideally, no? But a 5-year-old kid will not think about, yeah, I'll get 2 marshmallows. No, 70% of the kids ended eating 1 marshmallow. Okay, and they only 30% of the kids could wait. This is the story of life. Okay. Only 30% of the kids could wait. So this is the difference between consumption and investment. If you don't eat your 1 marshmallow today, you will be able to eat 2 marshmallows tomorrow. Consumption and investment, instant gratification versus delayed gratification. If you want to become a good investor, if you want to become a seasoned investor, you should be able to delay your consumption. Exactly, my investment is required. As I was telling you that sometimes I take session. No, I start with a very basic question. I ask you also, why do we work? Why do we all work? All of you are intending to work after school, after college, whatever, whenever you complete education. After that, you will work. But why do we want to work? Why everybody of us wants to work? Why do we all work? You work for living, okay, to earn money, exactly. To earn money to do what? To be financially independent. Yes, Vanshika, correct. Hai? Income, exactly. We work to earn money. Okay. Obviously, everybody is secure to have a secure life, to maintain the standard of living for basic needs, wants, desires. This is all we are going to talk about. Okay. But we all work so that we can earn money to get financial freedom. Exactly, Drivyam. Good answer. So basically, we all work so that we can earn money, and we earn money so that we can spend it. There's no other purpose of money. Money has to be earned for spending, but whatever you spend today is known as consumption. And what you save and spend tomorrow is either saving or investment. And the whole financial management at the personal level is a delicate balance between consumption and spending. If you consume more, you will not have enough to save it for investment. And if you consume less, if you can reduce your consumption and invest the savings, you will have a better future and you can attain financial freedom earlier. Having said that, I would like to caution you, this is not an easy thing to do. Okay. What is the formula? Yes, Vivan has a very interesting question. How do we know how much to delay gratification, or how much for how long we can save? That depends on a lot of things. Your financial goals, number of people who are dependent on you, and always I will say one thing. I am 43, Abhijay. Okay. So what I'm saying is, one thing that must be clear in your mind, okay, that purpose is more important than product. Okay. So when everybody is talking about investment, we are investing. Okay? If you are investing in stock markets, it could be you want to trade and you want to take out the money tomorrow. Okay. And other thing could be you want to invest for long term. So what is your purpose for investing? Whenever I am a financial planner, a lot of people, I teach financial planners also how to make a financial plan. Okay. And a lot of these people ask me for investment. When I ask those questions, that why do you want to invest? A lot many people, believe me, are not able to answer me. Sir, we are investing because everybody is investing. Is that an answer? I want to invest money because everybody is investing money. Exactly. You're not asking my age. I thought, are you asking my age? Yeah, it depends on your financial goal, your age and stage in life cycle. So that your money can increase. Okay. So money can increase is return. Okay? But return is not the only thing. What are the other things that you have to look for when we are talking about investment? What are the other things that must be kept in mind? Goals. Yes, goals is very important. That what is my time horizon? If I want to invest for 10 years, I will give you a different advice. But if you say I want money back in 2 years, I'll give you a different side. No? Yes, rate of growth, risk, Arman, wonderful. Risk is also a very important part. So these are the things I'm going to talk about when I'm going to talk about the things. One should be ready to take risk. At the same time, one should be aware of his own risk tolerance level. How to think what is the right time to retire? You should retire as early as possible. You won't. Most of the people, even if they would want, no, they would not want. They would not be able to retire before 50 years of age, 45, 50 years of age. Okay? And till your body has power, the only thing is you should enjoy doing what you are doing. So net worth is an important tool. There are a number of ways to increase net worth, like appreciation of assets. Your value investment should grow. The liabilities will reduce. Today I'm talking about many things. Okay. So we will be talking about all these things separately. We'll be talking about, when we are talking about the session on investments, we'll be talking about risk, return. What are the other factors that is important? Even liquidity is important now when we are looking for investment. That how soon I can access my own funds. Another thing that is important is the convenience. Is it available on app or not? Taxation is also a very important thing, because tax is a necessary evil when we are talking about the world of investments. Okay? An increase in net worth over a period. If your assets appreciate, your net worth increases. So invest in capital assets, no, that will increase. Don't only buy those assets that are going to reduce in value. If you don't invest in capital assets that keep on buying luxury goods and all, your net worth will decrease. It will not increase. So what you should do is you should focus on investing in things which are going to increase in value. Limit your investment in the things which are going to decrease in value. Reduce liabilities. Take liabilities for appreciating assets. Do not take liabilities for depreciating assets. So this would mean one should not borrow for buying a car. If that happens, then 70% of the cars will go away from the market. Okay? But yes, try not to borrow for depreciating assets, reduce liabilities, increasing incomes. Here I am talking about wealth creation. Okay? There are only 3 ways in which wealth can be created. Let me show you. Only 3 ways in which the wealth can be created. First is protect what you have. Second is increase your wealth. Whatever your assets are, increase them and reduce the liability. And third is earn new wealth. And as a financial planner, I would say that I am going to help you in increasing your wealth and protecting your wealth. Cryptocurrency is a different game. And now what has happened is, a lot of people are asking question about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, mate, is on a very high. The value has become all very high. So entry barrier has become all very high, especially for Bitcoin. Okay. Ethereum and other things are there. You can look at. A person below 18 years cannot buy share. The shares can be allotted him. He cannot have a demat account. Dogecoin, Ethereum, these are the things. Okay. And we can also reduce the amount spent on living expenses. We can reduce our consumption. Okay. 3 ways of gaining wealth is protect what you already have. Okay. 3 ways of protect what you already have. And what is the way of protecting? How can you protect you already have? The best way of protecting the wealth, safeguarding your asset is insurance. Okay. Increase what you have is investment. Okay. And investment is a very, very important part in life. Okay. If I ask you people when you will be starting to work, okay, and earn new wealth, there are 3 ways. Insurance, investment, and earning new wealth. Now tell me, what will be your most important financial goal when you people start working? I'll tell you what it should be. You will say, you might say a different thing. Investment. And earning, though you will be there. You will be earning. Okay. Increasing your net worth is your continuous goal. But investment, insurance, I think, I personally tell you, your greatest financial goal should be retirement. Because retirement, whatever you do, someday you will have to stop working. And when you will stop working, India, if you are working in India, if you go to Canada or some other developed country, then your social security and all would be there. But in India, social security, yes, to attain financial freedom as quickly as possible, to retire, do retirement planning. Okay. Yes, get financial freedom as early as possible. So do retirement planning properly, because when people say, I am a financial planner, so we deal with insurance also, we deal with investments also, we deal with retirement also, we deal with taxation also. So when we say, generally in the financial fraternity, we say insurance is very difficult to sell. The most difficult product in the world to sell or service to sell is insurance. Now, why would you think that insurance would be very difficult to sell? Now people have become aware of insurance. We policy bazaar ka din bhar you see ad, continuous ad. So even after you retire, your net worth can come. This one getting, yes, life insurance is most difficult in the world to sell. Why would you say that life insurance is very difficult to sell? Right now there is awareness about insurance, but if I am an insurance agent, I am selling you insurance. What I am telling you essentially, whatever I may tell you, but at the core, what I'm telling you, what if you die? What will happen to your family? This is what I'm telling you, no? Okay. So nobody wants to listen about death, no? Yeah, people don't want to hear about death. Okay. People buy plans which are giving them money back. They are more interested in getting the returns and all. Okay. But a bigger fear is there. What if I die? I am dead, and my family will do something. No, but what if I don't die and my income stops? That's a bigger fear. Believe me, that's a bigger fear. Exactly, Shreyas. Insurance is the expense. Please watch insurance as expense. But there is a bigger fear in life. Now, what if I don't die and I keep on continuing living, but my source of earnings stop? If my source of earnings stop, then I am gone for a toss. No, that's why retirement should be your number one goal. Having said that, the second reason of saving enough for retirement, it is easier. The earlier you start, the easier it is for you. Okay? So if you make a vote today that if when you will earn your first salary, you will invest some part of it to retirement. And I'm talking about a small amount of 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees would be enough to save for retirement when you go for working after 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. How many years are remaining for you? Yes, Arjun, speculative. I am saying crypto is dangerous because it is very speculative, and at the same time, all the factors that might impact the price of the crypto, no, we don't even know. We don't have access to understanding of all the factors. Okay? When you are talking about somebody who is asking about technical analysis and all, so technical analysis we do when we do fundamental analysis, okay, then we know the factors, but crypto mein all the factors are not. Supply and demand are two of the factors, but what is it correlation to the other asset classes? What are the other things? We don't understand each and everything. So that's why I'm saying crypto is a bit little more speculative in nature than we are comfortable. Okay? Then we come to smart financial goal. Ideal age नहीं देखिए, for health insurance you should always have. Okay, Shreyas. Health insurance you should always have. For life insurance is there for the person to save the earning potential of the person. Okay. When a person dies, the family goes from emotional loss and financial loss. Now, emotional loss, we cannot do anything about. Family will have to go through that. But financial loss, we can talk about. So, a person who is an earning person needs life insurance. A person who is not an earning person, who is just a dependent, he does not need a life insurance. Okay. And health insurance should always be there, whatever age you are. Okay. So if you are covered in health insurance, that's wonderful. The moment you start earning, please take a life insurance policy. Because life insurance is not for you, it's for the people who will lose the potential, economic potential. So we are trying to restore the economic potential. Life insurance is not for the person who is taking it. Life insurance is for the person who will remain behind. So if there is no dependent on you, don't take life insurance. But if there is people dependent on you who may get impacted, you should take life insurance. The moment you start earning, there are many methods of calculating life insurance requirements also. Unfortunately, what is happening in a market, you people will observe, I don't know, you will not have observed it till now, but life insurance and these products, there has been a lot of mis-selling happening in the market. Okay. When agents come and they tell your parents, sir, there's a new product, you should take it. They will not talk about what are the kind of risks the parents are facing. Now we are going through a pandemic when a lot of people are losing their life. So in periods like this, importance or the demand for life insurance increases. So this period would be good for life insurance industry business after that, just after the pandemic passes. But overall, if you are earning, you should have life insurance, and forever you should have health insurance. Got it, Shares? Now we are talking about goals, financial goals, smart financial goals. And anybody have heard about this SMART, this acronym? This SMART is not the smart as in I'm looking smart, I'm acting smart. It's the acronym. Okay, some of you might have heard it. Exactly, Kinas. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Okay? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Exactly, Shreyas. This is a very important part, not only for financial goals, all the goals in your life. As I asked the question about, what are your goals in life? So somebody said being a doctor, or somebody said going into an investment bank. Now, what do you need to be a doctor? If you are in class 12, after class 12 you have to clear a national level competition. After that you will have to clear, uh, you complete 4 years or 5 years of MD, MBBS. Okay, yeah, NEET are there. NEET has to be cleared. NEET ke baad you have to complete 5 years of MBBS. After that you have to choose your specialization. Maybe you go for MS or MD, whatever you choose, post graduation. So everything has to be written down. The goals have to be smart. If Because if you are not specific about the goals, you won't be able to achieve it. So if I am talking to you that Dravya wants to be a restaurant, uh, what is the word? He wants to open a restaurant, let's say. So if you want to open a restaurant, when do you want to open a restaurant? 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. That is the first thing. Okay. Restaurant of what kind you want to open? Okay. Is it achievable? Is it possible for you? Yes, obviously achievable. Is it realistic? And it has to be time bound. Okay. So make a flowchart of this goal, Dravya. Start working towards it. Okay. While taking charge of your life, it is important to set certain goals. And as financial planners, we basically set goals for our clients. Not everybody is aware of the goals. People will say, I want to be a big person. And what is the meaning of big? Somebody who is having 10 lakh rupees might consider himself big. And somebody who might be having 10 crore rupees, net worth of 10 crore, might not consider him big. Okay. For somebody, Mukesh Ambani is big. For somebody, some local person is big. So everything in this world is relative. Okay. And that's why we should be definitive about what we want. Not only in finance, and in financial also it is imperative. If I want my child to study at IIM, I'll have to arrange 30 lakh rupees 10 years down the line. Or if I can't do that, I will have to arrange for an education loan. If I want my daughter to go abroad for studying, maybe a crore rupees I'll have to arrange at that point in time. Okay. So while taking charge of your life, it is important to set certain goals to manage your finances. In order to do so, it is imperative to set up some financial goal covering the basic abbreviation. As I told you, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. By setting a time frame of your goals, you can make a note of which goals are urgent and are of utmost importance. This is also a very important thing. Not only you should give time bound goals, you should have priority also set up, because you cannot do everything in your life. No, you'll have to prioritize the things. And this is more true for financial goals. For example, if let me narrate an incident for you. Once I was taking a financial awareness session for a batch of young guys. These guys had just got a job, 25-year-old guys in a software company. Okay. I was talking about them, talking to like I am talking to you. I am telling you that retirement is the most important thing in your life. Now, at your age, you don't even think about retirement because you have not started working. So it might be a little absurd if I'm talking to you about retirement. But those guys, they had just started working 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of work experience. They were working there. So before the start of the session, just to set the tone, I gave them a form to fill and asked them to write financial goals. What do you want to achieve? Goals is what do you want to achieve in your life? So none of the 50 people I was in the room, none of those guys talk about retirement. Why? Because at 25 years of age, when you have just started working, 25, 27 years of age, who thinks about retirement? It's for the people like me who's on the wrong side of, not wrong side, on the right side of 40s. Now 15, 16 years, 17 years, I'll be 60. So if I don't think about retirement right now, then might be too late for me. But for you people For younger people, retirement seems a very, very, very distant goal. So as financial planners, when you come to me for your financial planning, I will set up your priorities right also. Priorities are very important thing. For a person who's 35, 38 years of age, has two school going kids, and when you tell them ki school going, don't plan for education of your kids, plan for retirement. He won't like it. Okay. Or maybe somebody who's driving a right age of retirement. There's no specific right age of retirement. You should retire as early as you can. I'll say around 50 years of age you should be, because in corporate world there are not many job opportunities after 50 years of age. Government has a specific retirement age of 60 years and all, but if I'm talking about corporate world and all, you will find it when you'll go that if you are working in a corporate, job opportunities, as you age, job opportunities shrink. Okay? That happens because there are more people required in the junior level than the people required in the senior level. No, boss to for 100 people there might be one boss. No, so obviously you should be ready for the possibility that after 50 years of age I might not be able to get a job. So it's better that I achieve financial freedom before that, because if you are not able, financial freedom is mandatory. If you are not able to achieve your financial freedom to the age of 60 years, you will have to work till 65, 70 years. And I'm not saying if your health permits, one should work, but that should not be a thing. Exactly, Arjun. Any source of income, Arjun is saying that renting out half of a duplex. Yes, exactly, that's the thing. House is a good investment because if you have two houses, you can give one on rent and that will give you a passive income. No, at the end of the day, what we are trying to do here is retirement means creating a source of passive income. Pension is a passive income. No. Okay. So this is another video about smart financial goals. I'll be sharing it with sharing link with Raghava Jyoti. You will be able to see it. Okay. Right now we don't have. You can see it at your own. There's no point. So coming to, before we talk about money and finance, let's talk about, just a sec. Just a sec. See this, these are, somehow this slide has gone in the last. I wanted this slide earlier. Yeah, rental yield might be low. In real estate, rental yields are very, very low. A 1 crore house in Bombay will go to rent for 25,000. 25,000, or maybe even if it goes to 30,000 also per month, that is a yearly 3,60,000, giving only 3.6%. So that ways it is low. But okay. So what we are talking about, not smart goal is I want to go somewhere with my friend during the summer vacation. You have to be specific. I want to go to Shimla with my friend during the summer vacations. Measurable, I need to save some money for a trip to Shimla. I need to save 1,000 rupees for my trip to Shimla. 1,000 to thoda sa kam ho gaya. We missed the zero kind of thing. At least 5,000 rupees you will need. I will arrange the money myself is the attainable goal. Okay. Because as a student, if you are not earning, you will not be able to attain 5,000 for yourself. What is a smart goal? I will request my parents to give me 5,000 rupees or maybe 2,500 rupees and I'll save the rest for it. Realistic, I will save rupees 100 and buy a lottery ticket. This is an unrealistic goal. To save 5,000 rupees, I will save 1,000 rupees per month or 500 rupees per month for the next 5 months. Okay. And time by, I will save money sometime soon. You are never going to save it. I want to save the money by first week of March. Still you can save it. So basically, make your goals smart. Whatever you are doing. I'm not saying that only for finance related goals. I want to study hard for IIT JEE. Make a definite plan. That's a very, very important thing. Convert your goals into smart goals. Think about the vagueness. Whatever your thinking process, no? Your thinking process should not have any space for the vagueness. Okay. Chaliye. So let's talk about money and finance. That was the major topic of our session today. An economic unit, what is the money? That is generally accepted, recognized, and centralized medium of exchange in an economy, can be termed as a money. So when we are in India, we say rupee is money. Okay. When we are in India, we say rupee is money. When we are in US, we say dollar is money. When we go to Great Britain, we say pound is money. Okay. So medium of exchange. Tanisha, that question you ask me at the end also, maybe I'll ask somebody to get on you. Okay. Euro also, yeah. These are the generally used currencies. Euro, Japan made is yen. Euro is in the European Union area, out of which Britain has just come out, Brexit. Okay. What is the currency of Germany? Anybody? What do Germans call money? Euro is one, but what is their original currency? Germany. Nobody? No, Euro is one of the currencies. Mark, yeah, Mark is right. Sai Siddhartha. Deutsche Mark, exactly Navya. It's Deutsche Mark. So basically, money, when whatever form, money is money. Now the thing is, dollar is a little valuable than our more rupee. Okay. Yes, Fadil, Mark, Deutsche Mark. Okay. So finance can be termed for activities that involve money, debt, credit, banking, and there are two branches of finance. Okay. One is corporate finance, where you are talking about investment and you're talking about analysis and you're talking about the finances of the organization, company that you study as a subject. For the people who take commerce, they study corporate finance and accounts as subject. Okay. Yes, Srishti. So the second part of finance is personal finance, and this is as important as, if not less, than corporate finance. And when we are talking about financial literacy in schools and colleges, corporate finance or the organizational finance is given more importance. That's why we are conducting this session, financial literacy. These are the sessions on your personal finance. Personal finance is a very, very important part, and knowledge about personal finance is a life skill, like your communication skill. If you speak English well, that is considered a life skill in India, no? If you can speak English well, if you can swim, if you can run, whatever. So just like that, financial planning, financial literacy is a life skill. If you know finances, if you understand, if you have better understanding of finances, then you are better than a lot of people. Along with that, you will understand the working of these personal finance organizations. Banks are organizations that are engaged in corporate finance and personal finance, but they are majorly into personal finance. Mutual funds, brokerage, also asking people to invest money in share markets, everything. So when I'm talking about personal finance, I'm talking about finances of the individual, finances of the company, finances of the corporation. You all are going to study in whatever occasion you are following. If you are in commerce, you people will study. If you are in science, if you do MBA later, you will study. But whether you are from science background, arts background, commerce background, you are a doctor, anybody, you need to handle your personal finances. Your personal finances does not ask you whether you cannot say no, that I don't have a degree in finance or commerce. That's why I'm saying it's not a subject skill, it's a life skill. Okay? Finance can be termed for activities that involve money, debt, credit, banking, investment, and so on. It is a representation of money management and largely studies asset creation, liabilities, credit, and other important aspects of financial system. Here we are not going to talk about financial system per se. We are going to talk about financial system which is applicable for you too as an individual. Because as an individual, you are a part of financial system. You have to pay your taxes, you have to plan your investment, you have to create your net worth, and you have to achieve your financial freedom by earning money through your profession and investing money through our financial system. Okay. The concept of microeconomics and macroeconomics are the basic theories of finance. Finance can also be well explained with one of the most fundamental theories of time value of money. Now, anybody is aware of time. What is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about time value of money? This is the central, the core concept behind finance. What is time value of money? Anybody? The value of money decreases. Exactly. Time is money. Value of money, yes, value of money kept depreciates of the time, but the money in future is more than worth more than money in present. Okay. Value decrease नहीं होती, actually increase होती है if it is invested. हाँ, if it is not invested, it loses value. Okay. So if you remember, in whatever from class 9 to 12 you are, but I'm sure all of you would have seen this formula I'm writing. A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power N. This formula we have seen. Everybody has seen this formula, no? Okay. This is the formula of what? This is the formula which we studied in which chapter? Which we studied? Compound interest. Exactly. Compound interest ka formula, and this is the most important formula in. So basically, if 10,000 is there in my hand today, okay, and the interest rate is 10. I don't know why I'm not able to write here. Let me write on the whiteboard. Okay. If I am having 100 rupees today and the interest rate is 10%, after 1 year, I will be having 100 into 1 plus 10% by 100 to the power 1. That is 110 rupees. That means if the interest rate is 10%, the value of 100 rupees today will become 110. This is basically time value of money. And this is the basic concept behind this. We'll be talking about when the session of investment, I'll be talking more about compounding and all. This is compounding. Okay. This is basically compounding. Prithvi can't hear me. Other people can hear me. Prithvi is saying he can't hear me. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So basically, time value of money is a very important part when we are discussing the finances, and we will be discussing it over a period of time. And maybe I'll give you some Excel functions. You people know Microsoft Excel? You have seen, I think, I'm sure you have seen the, I don't know. Chale, I'll tell you some time value of functions in Excel or calculator. Okay. These are very interesting things. Life becomes very interesting. So we'll be talking about in one of the sessions. Exactly, present value. This I calculated was future value. So we do compounding to calculate future value and we do discounting to calculate present value. We'll be doing some calculations, some interesting calculations we'll be doing. In your next to next session, third session, when we'll be talking about investments, we are going to do some very interesting calculations on time value of money. And believe me, you will find interest in that. Now we come to financial planning. What is the financial planning? Financial planning is the process of successfully meeting financial needs of life through the proper management of finances. Now, what are the financial needs of life? It is essentially a big picture approach when we divide our financial needs into different areas. The need to protect, okay, insurance planning. The need to grow our wealth, investment and retirement planning, we have to do that. The need to pay taxes, right amount of taxes, so taxation planning. Okay, Arshit, you created a program in Java. That's great. Amount of interest for, acha, for compound interest or loans and all. So to plan for retirement, financial planning is a basically approach, diagnostic approach, where you have to first decide that what do you need. Because when we are talking about financial planning, we are talking about saving money, we are talking about investing money. But when we are talking about investing, our goals have to be smart, no? That's great, Maher. I would like to see that. I do all that in Excel only. So when we are talking about financial planning, it is more than just investment or tax or estate or retirement planning. It's a combination. It's a comprehensive approach. Okay? It is all these and more. When we are talking about financial planning, we are talking about taking care of all the aspects of your personal finances. Okay. So when you start earning, how to protect your wealth, we are going to talk about insurance planning. How to increase your wealth, we are talking about investment planning. So the combined approach that looks at all the aspects of your personal finance, we call that approach as financial planning. And financial planning is an important approach. It's also not a one time fit exercise. Everybody has different financial needs. Your financial needs, financial goals, needs, requirements would be different. Exactly. How to ethically save taxes is basically Kinas is saying how to ethically save taxes. That is also a part of financial planning. Okay. There are some investments which are allowed under various sections under the Income Tax Act. If we are left with time, I'll talk to something about how to ethically save tax. We can ethically save tax by planning for tax. There are certain sections of our income tax, Indian Income Tax Act, section 80C, section 80D, section 24, section 56. It gives a lot of leeway for you. PPF, yes, 80C, PPF is the part of AXCC. Yes, Arjun, you can ask me. What do you want to ask? So basically, it is your roadmap to financial health and sustainable wealth creation to achieve financial freedom. Just a sec. Let me look at your question. If I have 1 million, the question has suddenly gone down. Just a sec. Let me see the question. I'm not able to see your question somehow. I'll try to do this. The question has come up. Can you just a sec? This basically depends on that whether buying the house and putting for rent is a good thing or not. Okay, rent might not cover your interest payments, Arjun. Okay. Arjun is asking a question which I am not able to read the full question. Somehow questions are moving up and down. But what I can think he's asking that if you buy a house and put it on the rent and rent is not able to cover the interest, is it worth it to buy a house or invest in a real estate? Okay, because house has two kind of returns, Arjun. One is your rent will be a return, and the second kind of return would be the increase in the value of the house. Okay, capital return. Every asset will give you capital return, also increase in price. So increase in price may justify that. Okay? The excess of interest that you are paying over the rent you are getting, the increase in the value of the house will be able to justify that. Okay. Look at the some examples of financial goals. Mandatory goals include children education, children education, children marriage. Children marriage is not a major goal in USA because children marry themselves. In India, child marriage is a very good goal because this is for some communities, especially in northern part of the India and southern part of India, people spend a lot of money in child marriage. So that's a goal. Retirement planning, US and Japan, because longevity is very long. Okay, and we are talking about purchase of residential premises. House purchase is a financial goal. Purchase of vehicle could be a financial goal. Okay. If somebody is having a bike, he would want to go for a Wagoner. If somebody is having a Wagoner, he would want to go for Honda City. If somebody is going for Honda City, he would want to go for whatever Jeep Compass or something. People may want to upgrade vehicle. People may want to purchase vehicle. All these are financial goals. and we have to buy this from one thing, income minus expenses. That is the amount that is going to give you this. Mandatory goals these are. And for optional goals are, you want to upgrade. If somebody is living in a 2 BHK house, you would want to go for 3 BHK or 4 BHK house. If somebody is having a smaller car, he would want to go for a luxury car. For a purchasing of luxury items at home, I was telling you want to buy AC in every room, or maybe you want to buy a Persian carpet, whatever luxury items. Purchase a vacation abroad. This used to be a super goal up till 2 years ago. Now I think everybody is not very willing to go abroad, but I hope in next 2 to 3 years, international travel will again resume. You people would not have seen that time, but in our times, I belong to the state of Rajasthan. Jaipur is my hometown. Okay, so when we used to come to Bombay, we used to feel very happy when we were kids. But right now, no place in the world is unapproachable, unreachable. No. Okay. Charity. Somebody wants to give away philanthropy, charity, give away the wealth. Okay. And the last part is inheritance planning. That is also a very, very important part. If you all your life you work hard to earn your wealth, and if you die intestate means if you die without creating a will that who will get your wealth, then what happens to the wealth? Anybody has an idea? If I have a lot of wealth, I have crores of rupees, I have hundreds of crores of rupees, and if I die without specifying that who should get my wealth, then what will happen? Government takes it? No, government does not take it. Okay. Government does not take it. Law takes a play. If I am a Hindu Succession Law Act comes into play. If I'm a Muslim personal law comes into play. If I'm a Christian or Sikh, then your Indian Succession Act, your family will get it as per the law. Okay. Not your parents, your nominees, your legal heir. Okay? So son, daughter, whoever comes in the next in the lives of succession, it is clearly defined in the law. Okay. But it isn't it better if we have made whole life, we have worked to create wealth. If I die, I would want it to be distributed as per my will. That also forms a part of financial planning. Okay. All these things must be new for you. You are going to school, you don't think about these things, but I'm just giving you a perspective. Okay, you still don't need to think about estate planning and all. But when I'm talking about financial planning, financial planners also do estate planning for, and especially for wealthy people who are high net worth individual people having 10 crores, 100 crores, 50 crores of wealth. They are very particular about who they wanted to give to. And the last optional goal is early retirement, financial freedom. And I told you this is very important, no? And you people have time on your side. If a person is alone, you will find somewhere distant relative are there. And if nobody is there, then government, it will go to the government or trust or anything. If the person is completely alone in life, then though it will go to some charity trust or something. But there would be some distant relative, no distant relative, cousin's daughter, son. So all these things are defined there. Okay. So isn't it interesting? If you are talking about these things, this is what financial planning, personal finance, you are talking about savings. And one more thing is not written is insurance. Okay. Protecting your wealth is also very, very important. And when we are talking about from the perspective of making it smart goals, we divide the goals into short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals, and very long-term goals. So for you, if you start working, buying a car might be a short-term goal. Okay. If somebody who is 25 years of age and has just started working, buying a car in next 1 to 2 years would be a short-term goal. Okay. Getting married in next 3 years to 5 years would be a medium term goal. Getting his children to enter into an international school, international board wala school hota hai. International board school has high fees also, no? So that would be a medium term goal. And retiring happily 15 years, 20 years, 40 years, that would be a distant goal. Medium term goal could be, or long term goal could be buying a house also. Somebody who has just started working, maybe looking to buy a house after 5 to 10 years. Okay. So if basically, if I'm talking about, if everybody is so much aware, then life would be easier, no? Financial freedom will be achieved. I'm not asking you people to start thinking about these things right now because it will be absurd. Children education, children marriage, but you should be aware about these disciplines, and you should be aware that there is a structured approach available when we are approaching our personal finances. It is not about earning money and spending money, earning money and spending money. It's not just about that. Your personal finances can be properly planned. Okay. So let's calculate here net worth here. Okay, tell me whether it is bank account balance. Let's calculate net worth of this person. Okay. Bank account balance is asset or liability? It's an asset, no? Bank account balance is asset. Let me try. Bank account balance is asset. Car loan, liability. Washing machine, asset or liability? Car loan is a liability. Yeah, Harshi. What is washing machine? Asset or liability? Washing machine is an asset. Gold jewelry. Gold jewelry is what kind of asset? Lifestyle asset or a capital asset? Gold is an asset. Yes, Kushi. Gold is an asset. Soumya, yeah. Gold is an asset, but what do you say? Gold is a lifestyle asset or it's a wearable thing, na? So lifestyle asset hai ya capital asset hai? Yes, gold is a capital asset. Exactly. Gold jewelry also is a capital asset. So ladies, when they buy gold, no, when they buy jewelry also, they give themselves a reason. No, no, हमको ऐसा थोड़ी कर रहे हैं. We are buying a capital. So gold jewelry is a capital asset. Shares are capital assets. Life insurance. Now the thing is, life insurance value is at 78,000. Would that be an asset or a liability? Life insurance would be an asset. This is the paid up value. Life insurance ka, if the policy is cancelled today, that's why we are taking an asset. Furniture will also be an asset. Furniture will also be an asset. Television asset. House rent not paid. House rent not paid would be a liability. Phone bill not paid would again be a liability. Fixed deposit asset hai. Gymnasium fees not paid is a liability. Car is an asset. Money owed to friend is a liability. So what will be the net worth in this case? We will have to add all the assets and we have to subtract all the liabilities from it. We need to add all the assets and we will be need to subtract all the liabilities from it. Yes, money owed to friend is liability. So 36,678 plus 3,000, 39 plus 58,000. Let me add this. Just a sec, huh? You people can also add it. Add करिए इसको. Net worth is 3,178,000. Vishnu is saying net worth is 3 lakh. Navya is also saying Exactly, Navya. 551 is what, Harshita? Is it asset? 551 are the assets? Yes, 551 would be the assets. And how much is the liability? Yes, I think 3 lakh is correct. See this? I don't have to work. I am taking your word for it. 5.51 lakh asset. 3,51,178 is the net. Some but people are saying 3,178. अभी तो भाई मेरे को कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. Just a sec. 36,678 plus 3,000 plus 58,000 plus 40,000 plus, just a sec, plus 78,000 ये मैं सॉल्व करना भूल गया. नेक्स्ट क्लास से पहले से सॉल्व करके लाऊंगा. 10,000 551,678. That is the correct amount for assets, which Harshi was telling me. Yes, 551,678. That is the assets, and the liability would be, how much is the liability? 1,35,000 plus 7,000, 142, 143, 500, 151, 500, and 1 lakh. 2,51,500. Exactly. That is the correct answer. Okay. So the net worth is finally declared 3 lakh. So the net worth amount is 3 lakhs, nearly 3 lakhs. Okay. So this person, based on this, and this net worth is not constant. This net worth is not constant. This will keep on changing. 300,178. Exactly, Vandana. ये किसने आंसर दिया ऊपर वाला? 551,678. Yes, Harshita. 551,678 are the asset. 251,500 liability. Net worth is 3,178. Correct है? So we can say ये net worth, the more this net worth, the more wealthy the person is. Even if the assets are high and liabilities are high, so we are not worried about assets. We are worried about liabilities also. And the gist of the today's session, or the morale of the today's story, every class I consider as a story. And you have to derive the moral. So what is the moral of the today's story? One, the moral of the today's story is that a person who is having more net worth is the richer person. Yes, Suhani. And the second is that every goal should be smart goal. So this was, I was intending to do this, but not much time is remaining. So maybe in one of the other classes, or I'll give it to your as homework. I'll talk to these guys. Okay, itna time nahi bacha hai. This is a case study on basically saving money, net worth kind of thing. So we'll do it next time. Let's. Yes, Shreyas. We have to continuously increase your net worth and aim for financial freedom. This is the gist of the story. Continuously increase your net worth, time to time. Keep an eye on your net worth. If your net worth is increasing, that means you are creating wealth in your life. If your net worth is decreasing, please understand you are destroying your wealth in your life. And please, wealth destroying is a sin. Okay. Now, the final thing. This is the thing, my departing note for today. That if you want to achieve any dream, write down a dream, convert it into a smart goal. Okay? And because we are talking about financial goals, we are talking about analyze income expenses and carry out a need want analysis. What is a need want analysis? Need is something which you must have. Okay. And want is something which is good to have. We will be talking about that in our lesson session. If your goal is smart, start implementing your goals. If your goal is not smart, convert that into smart goal by putting specificity, measurable, realistic, achievable, and time bound thing, and implement the smart goal. Okay. So this is what I have for you today. And I hope, and I am quite encouraged by your participation. So I would like to congratulate you on your participations. I think I made sense. In the next session that we'll be talking about, we will be talking about budgeting, the importance of saving money and how to save money.